Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
There was arguing back and forth, and then it was what appeared to be a glass bottle thrown out of the car.
Now at 6, more witnesses took the stand today in the murder trial of Raul Valley, and we learned more details about the 2022 death of a 17-year-old boy. But first, we are in a weather impact alert for the heat that's right around the corner. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Hartman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Tomorrow it's going to get very hot and very humid. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here to time out the weather impact alert for us. Rachel, I added the very humid part. That wasn't in the script. So we need to know, is it going to be really humid tomorrow?
Yes, it will be air you can wear, tropical, oppressive. You close your eyes and you're thinking, am I in Florida right now? We'll see high temperatures up around 90 degrees, but it could feel like up to 100. So that's the reason the National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for much of inland Connecticut, and that's from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. Just making sure that you're not doing any strenuous activity outside, taking care of yourself, drinking plenty of water. But we also wanted to let you know that with that summer heat and humidity also comes the threat for summer storms, and some of them could be strong to severe. The time frame for that is 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. I don't think every town will see a storm. They will be hit or miss in nature, but any that do end up popping up could be on the stronger side. So if you're out tomorrow trying to stay cool and you're lucky enough to be laying by a pool, relaxing somewhere, just make sure that you're staying weather aware so you know when you have to come inside. Temperatures are in the 70s across much of the state. We've got some showers that are moving into Litchfield County right now, and a few more back where that came from. So some passing showers out there through the evening, maybe even a steadier period of light rain for a little while. That should dissipate as we head towards and after sunset, and we'll see overnight lows near 70 degrees. Foggy start to the day tomorrow, but a bright finish, and then we're tracking storms. Your full forecast is coming up.
Rachel, thank you. And Governor Ned Lamont has issued an extreme hot weather protocol starting this Sunday at noon, and it will last until next Wednesday, at least until 8 p.m. And that means cooling centers will be open to keep vulnerable people safe from the extreme heat. For information on these cooling centers, just dial 211 on your phone. You can also visit 211ct.org to find a cooling center near you, or you can go to fox61.com and we will tell you where they are as well. All right, today witnesses took the stand in the murder trial of Raul Valley. He is accused of stabbing and killing 17-year-old James McGrath during a fight at a house party back in 2022.
Fox 61's Alicia Hercules was in court today, where the jury also got to look at video evidence from that night.
The jury heard from witnesses who were at the party and saw the fight break out. Video evidence was also played from witnesses that show the fight at different angles. One witness who took the stand says that they heard someone shout that someone had a knife. Wednesday, the prosecution's sixth witness took the stand. Griffin Marcinzik was a Shelton High School student at the time. He testified that he and another friend tried to go to a party on Lazy Brook Road in Shelton. There, he says he encountered Valley and two other students from St. Joseph's High School. He says a fight broke out after one of the students took his friend's 12-pack of beer. Marcinzik testified that the fight was broken up, but it later continued at another party on Laurel Glen Drive. Witnesses say Valley and other students pulled up to the party in a black Honda Pilot. They testified that the car drove away several times before Valley and others got out of the car and a physical fight began.
How would you describe the scene of the fight? Was it chaotic?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of kids?
A lot of kids.
And when the defendant runs back into the fight, what, if anything, did you hear at that moment?
My buddy Charlie yells that he has a knife.
And when you heard Charlie yell that he has a knife, what, if anything, did you observe next?
I didn't observe, like, from that point, it was a crowd of people, and then it broke out in chaos. People started yelling, screaming, and then I had seen Jimmy, and he had these white shorts on. They were stained completely red, and I looked away, and a bunch of people flooded to him to help him.
Marcinzik says he later noticed several other stabbing victims after the fight ended. When cross-examined by the defense, Marcinzik says he never saw a knife. Other former high school students testified that they saw the fight and even filmed a video and posted it to social media. Valley is being charged with murder and assault. Testimonies are expected to continue Thursday. In Milford, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
A New Haven man is behind bars right now after a standoff with officers and SWAT members in North Haven this morning. The situation lasted for nearly 7 hours, and police had to close off a part of the road until the suspect eventually surrendered. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is along the Hartford Turnpike with how that situation unfolded.
24-year-old Joe Reverend was arrested after an hours-long standoff with police after what they're calling a family violence incident. This is what the scene looked like when our Fox 61 crews got here early Wednesday morning. Local and state police alongside SWAT team vehicles were lined along the Hartford Turnpike between Skiff Street and School Drive. North Haven police say they were called at 12:30 a.m. to help East Haven officers arrest the 24-year-old. When officers arrived, they say Reverend had a rifle and was uncooperative. That's when SWAT teams were called. Negotiators say they spoke with Reverend for hours to try and get him to come outside peacefully and surrender. Outside the home where Reverend was barricaded in, we could hear negotiators tell him over a loudspeaker to come out the front door with his hands up. At 7:30 a.m., the man came out of the house and was arrested. Police say no one was hurt and that there was no threat to the public. Reverend is also charged with unrelated crimes by the East Haven Police Department. North Haven detectives are currently working with the state attorney's office to issue arrest warrants and search warrants of the house that he was barricaded in. In North Haven, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Well, tonight, family and friends gathered to remember a Plainville man who was hit and killed in West Hartford earlier this month.
Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot is live in West Hartford, where a vigil just finished up. Kate, what was it like?
Bike West Hartford, a nonprofit that advocates for safer streets, held a vigil for John Marzak. Now, police say Marzak was hit by a car on June 7th at 2 in the morning while walking on South Main Street and later died on June 10th. Today, people came together to remember him and called on something to be done about road safety in West Hartford. We spoke with his mom this afternoon. She says she'll miss her best friend.
Him and I were inseparable. He's my best friend. We talked about everything and anything.
The suspect in this case has been arrested. Police say Juan Novoa is being charged with evading responsibility and tampering with evidence. Novoa's next court date is June 26, and coming up on the news at 10 and 11, we'll hear from the West Hartford mayor and a neighbor on South Main Street who says this street is notorious for drivers driving fast. In West Hartford, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Thank you, Kay. We have breaking news now at 6:07 from Glastonbury. Police are sharing new details about the disappearance of a retired police detective who hasn't been seen for months. We've learned she was found buried under debris from hoarding conditions inside her home. Police were called to the home of 73-year-old Mary Notarangelo last summer for a welfare check, but officers couldn't find her. They say there were huge piles of garbage inside the home. It wasn't until February when her remains were found near the front door. But the report was only made public today. Officials say her cause of death could not be determined.
What say is the defendant at the bar not guilty or guilty? Not guilty.
Of?
So say you, Mr. Foreman? So say you all?
Breaking news here. After 3 days of deliberations, the Massachusetts jury in the retrial of Karen Reed found her not guilty of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend. The jury found her guilty of driving under the influence, but cleared her on some lesser charges. During deliberations, the jury asked the judge similar questions to the ones that led to the first mistrial. Reed has never been jailed for O'Keefe's killing. She also never testified in either trial.
A Stamford judge dropped a contempt charge against Michelle Troconis today. Troconis pleaded not guilty to this charge she received during her criminal trial last year. Prosecutors say she displayed a child custody case document on her laptop in open court for people to see. Last March, a jury convicted Troconis of conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to tamper with evidence, and 2 other charges. She's serving 14.5 years in prison.
A Stratford man appeared in court today after he reportedly threatened CVS employees in Bristol with a knife and then set a tent on fire yesterday. Police say Christopher Gomez shoplifted the CVS on Middle Street at 2:10 in the afternoon. Witnesses say he shoplifted and then came back to the store to threaten employees with a knife and damaged property. Officials say they later found him at a nearby homeless encampment after he assaulted someone and then set a tent on fire there. He is out on bond now.
A West Hartford teacher was arrested for a second time. Investigators say he inappropriately touched a a second student. Nicholas Ricciardi of Manchester has been charged with risk of injury. He was first arrested and charged in January for inappropriately touching a student at Solomon Schechter Day School. Now the investigation shows he touched 2 students. He's out on bond and he's scheduled to appear in court next week.
Waterbury police are investigating a report of shots fired in the area of Woodlawn Terrace. Officers responded to the area at 10 this morning, and when they got to the scene, they didn't find anybody injured by the gunfire. They did find evidence that a gun was fired. As of now, no one has been arrested.